Today I'm thinking about websites and how they can look stale, and how there are so many websites that do look stale. Now, this is typically with solopreneurs or small business owners where they just don't have the resources, the time, the money to put into maybe a professional web designer or just their marketing budget. So many folks that I talk to that are in that smaller end of business, they have no marketing plan at all. So letting a website get stale is kind of, it just happens. But think about this. And this popped into my head today. And I've thought about this before, but to just share with you. Imagine that you're in your car and you're driving. You've got a destination already set in the GPS, and you're going by a nice mall, you're going past cute little main street with boutiques, and then you keep on going and you come to a sort of derelict looking building, a bit pokey, old. There are no cars in the parking lot in front of the store, unlike the businesses that you'd just driven by, but it's your destination. So you go in and you look around. Very quickly you assess the place and you're like, oh, what am I doing in here? Because there's like nobody else in here. And it looks pretty obvious that stock hasn't really been moved off the shelves anytime recently. You run your finger along one shelf, and as you look at it, you see it's just covered in thick dust. And that's it. You just leave. You get in your car and you go. And really, that's what's happening in the virtual world, in your virtual storefront, your hub, your home on the web, your website, if it's not getting updated, if it looks old. Web design trends, just like fashion on the runway, those fashions change, and so does websites. The trends with websites. It's really obvious after a while when a site hasn't been updated. And gosh, I came across one the other day that looked like it was maybe circa early 2000s. It was kind of epic, really, but very sad at the same time. And so just think about your web content. If you've got a website, and when was the last time you updated it? Because I know some of us, when we're wearing so many hats, we get busy and we're like, yeah, I'll get to it later. I mean, you know your business, you know what's going on, but your customers or potential customers, they're not mind readers. They don't know. And if you think of that description that I just gave you, that story, and if your visitors are doing that to your website, if it's stale, then that's not good. In fact, that's really bad for business. Your website should have great curb appeal. It should be engaging. It should get people to return. So that leads me on to something I've been working on for the last few months. I've been building websites for 26 years, and so often I've thought about, well, I'd like to do a course, and it just hasn't happened until very recently. I decided to really pare things down and be able to lead folks through a formula that I follow in my business to get a website that is beautiful, professional looking, and converts visitors into leads. It's been a lot of fun. It's a different kind of course because I'm actually there. I'm doing live training, but that weekend part, I'm actually there instructing, guiding, giving advice, and websites get built. And it's just a lot of fun. So if you have a stale website, or somebody that you know has a stale website, or it's in the making and it's just not looking the way it's supposed to look in your mind, then maybe this is something that you'd be interested in. So go to my website inaweekend.com and check it out.